Hello, everyone, and welcome to this very special session. A session called as Ignite, Light Up Your Path. I welcome you all, no matter where you are, from what corner of the world you are. It's an absolute honor to have you all with us today on our very first and very special occasion of our first global online sessions. Here, we are coming together to share our wisdoms, our insights, our experiences, and our ideas about meditation and the incredible ways it has helped us to transform our life and to make it better. At Ignite, where we light up our own path, we create this very special space for all the individuals out there, no matter even if you are a beginner or a seasoned practitioner. We welcome you all with open arms and love. We are here collectively to evolve, grow, and grow and learn as we take this journey together. Now, when we're expecting this journey together, we need to understand why we all have to come together as a team and see the way it's going to work. So, buckle up as you all are going to be a very wonderful and experimental scientists who can experiment on their own, who have their own choice, their own freedom, and their own free will to explore anything they want. So let's buckle up. Before I begin the session, I want to introduce myself to you. I'm going to be the host for today's session, and my name is Pooja, and I have been a meditator since 4 years. So let's go. Just a quick introduction about what actually you can expect from us from today's session. Okay, so we all have been in this world where we know this the world is so fast paced that we are so addicted to our phones and to have everything around us quickly done, like fast paced world. We want this, that, everything else. So let's take a break and understand what exactly it is, why it is, who it is, and when was it all formed. So let's go back in the time and understand the way it was all formed. Yes. When I talk about going back in the time, I'm talking about the history, the geography, and everything else you can think of. And no, we're not practically and physically traveling there, but maybe to teleportation, which is another invention of meditation. Fancy words, but what I see as meditation is actually an all you can eat buffet where we talk about our the myths of meditation, the mindfulness, the conscious breathing, the meditation and its profound effects on your mind and body. What exactly is spiritual science, the history, the essential of it in today's world, your chakras, your karmas, your energy healing, self-love, manifestation, law of attraction, your personal development, your growth, your mindset, the neuroscience of meditation and its impact on mental health, everything. Yes. When I'm talking about buffet, you can expect everything and all of these things from us. So, are you guys excited and ready? It's been a really excitement opportunity for me and my team to put together everything, all of these things for you. So, I am expecting some excitement from y'all. You're not helping, guys. Anyways, so let's begin with the most simplistic thing of what exactly is meditation and how it came into existence. I am sure that you all must have heard the name of Buddha and who he was and what he created for all of us. He was a very amazing being. He had everything you can think of. He had the gold, the palace, the beautiful life, children, amazing partners and parents, and a very beautiful kingdom to rule on. But when we saw the consequences of war and illness and the way body was operating on certain levels, He couldn't resist himself. And all he thought was, what is the point of having all this? Why do I even have all this? And I don't understand the meaning of my own existence, or when I don't understand why am I here? And that is when he took a complete detoxification from everything you can imagine. From his gold, from the palace, from the materialistic wealth, from his kids, from his parents, and everything, basically. And he went into intense meditation where he started fasting, eating only once in a couple of days. And he realized, oh no, this is so wrong. I shouldn't be doing this. This body is a gift from the universe, and I am the user. I cannot be mistreating my own body because I need this. I need this to complete the whole cycle of my life. And that is when Buddha sat under a tree and realized the power of your breath. Have you ever given it a thought? Like, when was the last time you were consciously breathing? Are you inhaling or exhaling right now? Be quick. Think. I just inhaled. So that is what happens when Buddha started meditating on his breath. He explained it in a very simplistic format of just notice the way you breathe, the way you inhale and the way you exhale. In our ancient Hindu textbooks, we call it as nadi, from where the life happens. And the most important of all, the reason why Buddha called this as a meditation form and the highest form of meditation was you are always breathing, right? Even now you're breathing the way, even when you go to sleep, you are breathing. Even when you are in the gym, you're breathing. Even when you are giving your exams and remembering all your answers, you're breathing. So that is the power of being conscious about your breath. And it was named as Anapanasati meditation, where you don't focus, you don't concentrate, or you don't force yourself to see what's going on. It's just a very relaxed state of observing the way you inhale and the way you exhale. Alright? So let's just become a little conscious and start noticing the way we inhale and the way we exhale. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for you all to buckle up your seats because the captain is in the cockpit and he's ready to take us on the very first flight. Without further ado, I invite Yeshwant, who also happens to be today's speaker, to guide us through this meditation.
Thank you, Pooja, and thank you, Kirti, for the instructions on the screen. Yes, friends, without any further delay, let's get into this blissful time with ourselves right now. Okay. Assume a comfortable and cozy posture wherever you are seated right now. Close your legs, clasp your hands, and in case you are sitting on the chair, keep your legs crossed. You can sit on the floor or on the chair, wherever you are comfortable, on your couch, anywhere. Close your eyes and observe your breathing. No need to think about the past, present. Let's take the privilege to become one with ourselves, my dear friends. Just relax and enjoy this beautiful dance. Breath through our nasal openings. Let us slowly come back to our physical self, my dear friends. And once when you're ready, slowly raise your hands and place them on your eyes for 5 seconds. Slowly remove your hands and open your eyes with a beautiful smile. Thank you, everyone, for this amazing, wonderful meditation.
Thank you, Yeshwant, for guiding us in this meditation. It was really beautiful. So I would like to introduce Yeshwant to all of you who are present with us today. Yeshwant was born and raised in Chennai and currently working in a techie professional field in Bangalore. And he has been into meditation since third grade, and spirituality has been a constant part of his life. And through various meditation techniques and mindfulness upbringing, it has actually helped him evolve and become a better person day by day in every aspect of his life. Now he's just finding peace, joy, and bliss in every scenarios of his life, and more specifically, every challenges of his life. So meditation has been a very strong foundation in his life, both professional and personal life. So welcome, speaker, to the session. It's good to
Glad to be
have your
here.
bestie.
Always.
All right. So I was just intrigued to know that you've been into meditation since third grade. So such a young age. Did you ever try to sneak out of your meditation when you're trying, when your parents were insisting you to sit and meditate? Did you ever pretend that you're falling asleep in meditation?
Pretending to be falling asleep, I don't know. Sleep is something that happens often when you need it during meditation, but sneaking is something I couldn't. I grew up unfortunately with an elder sibling. Okay, so anytime I sneak, I always have a 24-hour CCTV surveillance and I'll be in trouble all the time. So sneaking was not an option for me. And yeah, even though I began with force or pressure from the parents, eventually when we started seeing what this is actually capable of doing, I didn't feel like letting it go ever after again.
Yeah,
And my parents were the biggest push for me to get into this.
that's wonderful to know that you have such a strong foundation coming all the way from your parents, because we all know that parents heavily influence us in our early childhood and teenage as well. So just curious, like, did it ever feel like a weird group family project where all of you are coming together, or was it more fun side?
That was actually more of a fun side. I had barely 7 to 8 years before our spiritual journey started. And even as soon as it started, it was not an abrupt change, it was a gradual transformation. Okay. So the parenthood or the parenting was in such a style that it was always like quite dominant. Okay. And it was always more about obedience and that kind of, typical brown parenting. But
Yeah.
once they got into meditation, it was definitely not an overnight change, I swear. But I got familiar into spirituality since my third grade, right? So around the end of my 10th grade or when I got into my 11th, my parents have completely transformed to be my friends. Okay. It took 7 years for them to see like a complete beautiful change. So it has always been fun. Like it was life has always been like that science project where nobody knows anything, but we all try to do something. But it becomes way too easy when your teammates realize like it's not me who knows everything. We are all trying to figure something out together. Okay. Because a lot of people we see, despite not knowing anything, we see that amount of like ego that I know this and we all have to follow this. Small people with big egos, we say, right? So when that dissolves, you will be able to find the right thing together in a beautiful way. It comes out in a beautiful way. I had a lot of fun being the best or closest friends with my parents and my family.
That's really amazing to have that family coming together to do a science project called as meditation, which turns out to be so beautiful. And by the time of you reach your 10th grade, having your parents as your best friend is a really I feel like every child deserves this once they start with their teen phase and they are, facing all these kind of new emotions and the exterior world, they're exposed to everything. So having your best, your parents as your best friends and your rock, along with meditation, really gives a kind of a smooth sail, is what I believe. So just
Very much.
tell me what was your experience. This is just again a theoretical thing what I'm talking. We need
It
your words. Come on.
definitely was a smooth sail for me, but unfortunately, since all the ground rules are broken, it was a real hard sail for my parents. Okay. Since they came to a realization that just because I'm young doesn't mean I don't know less, and just because they're elder doesn't mean they know more. Since they came to a realization that you and me are one, they were having to break through their bondings of what a younger person is supposed to be like. Even if I say point out a mistake in them, they came to such a beautiful level of consciousness that they would listen rather than just saying, hey, who the hell are you to tell me, you're just a kid. They slowly broke out of that, and once it started, it was just a beautiful smooth sail for me, of course. And it was, they, even though they did one of the best tremendous job I can ever say, it was not easy for them.
Yeah, yeah. Because again, them being a parent as well, having to get over all of their old belief system, trying to build up a new belief system, along with having a child who's looking up to them, coming together was again complete transformation or more like a reborn thing for them as well.
Very much.
Okay. So, like coming to your teen part, tell me about it. How juicy was it? Like how good and bad you were in dealing your emotions and external situations.
I believe like before even my teenhood started, I was into regular practice of meditation. So there, like teen is supposed to be the age where we meet the extremes, right? Like the positive and the negative extremes. But because I was able to be grounded, I was able to observe them both, and I was just able to pick where I wanted my energy to go on.
Mm.
I would say like I saved a lot of energy. Like teenage is some part of our life where we get immense energy through us, and we struggle on finding out where to channel this damn thing. Okay, so me being like into meditation even during my teenage, I was barely having any amount of doubt on what to do or where do I need to be. I was just able to already observe myself and be in touch with myself, my the inner self, and it was pretty much smooth, I would say.
Okay. So in that case, you never had, oh my God, I'm about to explode moments in your teen life.
Why would I not? That's fine. That's when we're actually getting familiar with the life, right? So there were a lot of moments where I was exploring my emotions, myself, and the surroundings a lot of times. But the best part about exploring with meditation is if you already have something in your mind and try to explore a particular thing. For example, let's say there's a grasshopper. Okay. A lot of times we were told that such insects are capable of getting inside your ear and eating your brain and messing with your life, a lot of things. Okay. But when we actually pay attention to what they do, there is not a single insect I have seen in a civilized area till now that would want to go inside your ear and mess with your earwax. Those insects are like, dude, you stink inside your ear. Why would I want to go inside that? So
Okay.
experimenting with meditation was the best thing to do. There was no ground rules. Okay, you have to build them up by yourself, and it was just directly in touch with whatever we are doing, and a lot of knowledge transmission happens when we observe it.
Okay. That sounds very smooth. But okay, then tell me about your adulthood because we talk so much about oh my God, I'm 18 now, I'm a young adult, I'm to take my own decisions, I'll do whatever I want to do. And we do even have this thing called as midlife crisis coming up right now in a lot of young adults as well. So, how do you think meditation is going to be a part of their life and help them to understand all these things?
See, once we get in touch with ourselves, we try to understand that everything we are going through is nothing but another experience. Okay. A lot of times we all are so much enthusiastic to go and work out in the gym. Okay. And we all know that it causes a lot of pain. Okay. Despite which we are so much happy to go through that particular pain because we know for sure it makes us strong. That pain is healthy. Okay. So in so many aspects of your life, you get a lot of pain. You are bound to get a lot of pain because pain is what makes you strong. Okay, things don't work differently in different things. Pain is supposed to make you strong. Okay, so once you make peace with this particular fact, any pain which you encounter, you will just be like, okay, what is this trying to teach me? Okay, I've definitely been through a lot of such situations. Okay, and I would always keep challenging myself. Okay, like for example, I had one of the lowest times in my life with my dog. Okay, you know
Okay.
how much a pet helps in keeping your mental self sane. Okay, and the next time when I hit the next or even more lowest point, I challenge myself, dude, I'm gonna do this without my dog this time. Okay, so
Okay.
when you go on being in the conscious state where this is going to make me strong. I'm going through this pain, but suffering from this pain is my choice. Okay. When you make this a realization and when you take it inside yourself, you are going to enjoy pain. See, when you're going to work out or when you're going to go for a sport, you, despite how much pain you're going through, you're going to enjoy the pain because you know for sure you're getting strong. Okay, the same thing happens. You go through a lot of pain, you definitely go through a lot of shit, but the attitude with which we deal with it matters, and it makes all the difference.
That was so nicely put. I mean, having the choice of knowing that this pain is there to teach you something is really a higher level of consciousness. And understanding that kind of really helps you go through all the pains and difficulties in a much better way. Oh, wonderful. I should note this down. Oh my God. Thanks for this. What an amazing pointer. Okay. So, since we're talking about pain, I need you to tell me what is the real life example that you have gone through, because the way I have seen and heard about things is every human being go through a lot of situations. So the situations are infinite, but every situation is going to trigger those 20 kind of emotions only.
Mhm.
So the emotions remain the same, but whereas the situations are infinite, and that is when we feel like, oh my God, nobody understands my situation. I have nobody. And then people start going into loneliness, depression, which is really a very big concern among the youth right now. So just please.
The very point where we force ourselves to go into depression is because we have a particular image in life. Like, this is how I want to be in life. Imagine you're going to an adventure park and you know in what kind of mood you go to have an adventure in. Okay. You're not gonna say, like, I want my adventure to be stable, safe, make sure I'll be not hurt. I don't want my adrenaline. Dude, that's not an adventure. That's something boring. Okay. So in life, we get a lot of opportunities to actually feel the adventure. And the importance of adventure is like, it is simple. Like, a flat line means you're dead in an ECG. Okay. You have to have ups and downs, dude. Like, you will get bored of your flat lines if it is every day. Okay. But the mind wants stability. Okay.
Right.
That's why we keep running behind stability, despite knowing we are adventurous souls, we wanna enjoy, despite knowing all these, we give it into the mind, saying it wants stability, it wants familiarity. Okay, and that's the battle that causes all this pain. Okay. you, one part of you wants to enjoy life, be adventurous, be wild, and the other part of you, which is your mind, which was trying to say, I want stability, I don't want to risk my life. No, you are controversial with yourself. Get a grip on what you want first. Okay, and once you figure out what you actually want, you will understand how much the energy flows through you when you're into an adventure, and how much boredom flows through you when you're into your flat lines. So try not to be dead. Neither of us want to be dead. Okay, we all want it. But the thing is, like, as long as we have it, until we get it, we are always like, okay, I want this adventure, I want this adventure. But the moment we see the adventure, I'm like, I wish I was home. Okay, that's what adventures are supposed to make us feel. Embrace the feeling. That's something you need to work with your mind, and that's where meditation comes in. Okay, you wouldn't, just because we know an amusement park or a safe adventure area is, we feel free to be adventurous there because we know it is safe. Okay, the same way we need to come to the realization that the adventures in life are more than safe. Okay, and whatever is supposed to happen will happen, and the forces that are working for you beyond your physical realms are infinite. Okay, you are protected from various other sources more than you can even imagine. Okay, once we understand this fact, we live life like an adventurous amusement park kind of feel.
Well, that was amazing explanation. Like understanding the way you are supposed to look at your life, not being too serious, not taking it just like, oh, I'll just enjoy a little today and postpone my happiness for tomorrow. It's definitely not a right way of living. And it was a really brilliant way of putting it together as an amusement park. So yeah, thank you for that. And because of that point, I have another question. So people always have this myth in their mind that when you talk about meditation, oh, you become a Zen master. Oh my God, I don't want to give up on all the materialistic wealth. I don't want to be Buddha or Dalai Lama. They feel like it is just like it's a very controversial topic as well, because some of them feel like the magic will happen over time. Some of them are like there's no magic at all, and some of them are like I don't want this. So what? Just cover all these 3 points for me.
It reminds me of a friend who was saying, okay, she has a favorite idol. Okay, and she prays for that idol quite often whenever she wants things to happen. Okay, and I would ask, okay, what would you do if that particular deity, the god, the idol doesn't give you what you want? She said, okay, I try to be patient, but after my patience breaks, I leave this idol and I go to the next one. Okay, I try asking somebody else. Maybe they might work. Okay,
Yeah,
so that's the kind of approach we pretty much have on most of the things. But when she came into meditation with the same kind of approach. Okay, and she was meditating, and it was like, okay, some things are good, but some things are not so good. I'm thinking maybe just because I'm doing meditation, I'm facing these not so good things. So this is something that came through me as an answer for her. See, meditation is not something we do. Okay, it is a part of nature, and with the help of meditation, with the help of breath, we become one with nature. Okay, so the first time a person ever sleeps, okay, on a daily basis when we sleep, there is a lot of transactions happening through us in the physical, mental, and metaphysical level, right? So we are trying to implement the same and make use of it. Okay, this is something which we are not, what to say, coining it out. This is not an invention, this is more of a discovery where we try to understand how to energize ourselves more. So the question comes because we see meditation as something different. Okay, how about I put it as, instead of meditation, I give you the term called being with yourself. That doesn't sound odd, right? Now we have some
yeah,
beautiful term coined called mindfulness. That doesn't sound odd. So insufficient understanding about what even though I use different terms, the goal, the final destination is one. Okay. I'm trying to bring all my senses to one so that I can channel it the way I want it to. Okay. So call it whatever you want to call it, but this is a part of nature. This is a part of our self. And irrespective of you doing it consciously or not, we all have been doing it every single day.
Okay, so being conscious or not conscious. So in other terms, we can call it as it's like gravity. Gravity doesn't care if you believe in it or not. It does
Exactly. You
exist.
don't have to believe it. Just because I don't believe in gravity doesn't mean I'm going to be floating right now, right? I am in the
Yeah.
field of gravity and I have to get my ass stuck to the earth. So that's how it works. You don't have to believe in meditation. It's something you have been doing all day and it's your choice to make use of it or fight against it. If I don't want to be in the field of gravity, I can try jumping my entire life and die right there. Okay.
Yeah,
You pretty much don't have a choice.
sure.
Okay. So, but if I want to make use of this gravity, I can try walking, I can try, cycling, I can try making use of all the advantages gravity has been giving. So, it's pretty much your choice. You believe it or not, meditation is going to be the part of nature, part of your life. And it's completely your choice if you want to make use of it or just be like, no, no, not my thing.
Okay. So you just spoke about the advantage of it. So tell me, have you ever been in a situation where you were like on the way to your office or somewhere you got stuck or in your office you got yelled at something happened and that point it felt like okay, I'm not gonna be angry or I'm gonna channelize my emotions in a better way because everyone we all have that bleh days and we need to figure out a way to get out of it.
What do you mean, have you ever? The world throws at us a lot of
Okay.
such situations, mostly on a day-to-day basis. Okay, like it is all, that's pretty much the reason why it becomes important, right? Like we have to go through a lot of people on a daily basis, and it all burns down to the point where how much we know about ourselves and how much we know to handle ourselves. Okay, if that I the very question you asked reminds me of a person. Okay, like it's pretty much the first week of my first company in and the first project, all those first things. Okay, I was still raw out of college kind of emotion, and out of nowhere one guy yelled at me just because he was impatient. Okay, and it was still here. I swear it was still here. I was just like, do you think I'm your child or what? My mind, what you're saying. It was literally till here, and I was physically shutting my mouth. So that's because I'm not used to the environment, and respect was something that was vital for me. Okay, but still, I was able to hold it and I handled it. I was just quiet. And in that very particular situation, my manager was there and he came around after some time to talk about it and say, like, I agree, it is not the right way to deal with. And on his behalf I apologized. Don't take it seriously. Okay. If I had reacted there, even though I was in a correct position, like, even though I was justified to react, that would have made things a lot worse. Okay. Just because I was trying to make peace with myself and just because I was well aware of what I was going through, I was able to be like, okay, let's hold on a little longer. And I got it back in a beautiful way. From a higher level guy, I got an apology. Okay. So it always matters regarding how you deal with yourself.
Yeah, that kind of actually explains the way you use the term mindfulness and being with yourself, and the way you can channelize your own emotions, even though the external situations might be demanding and pushing you to the edge. But like we were just talking about, you always do have a choice to just switch and think about the way you want to take things forward. Okay.
We always do.
Yeah. So I won't take much further time. I just want to know if you have any message for anyone out there listening to us who's a very complete beginner to meditation, and to all the people who have been meditating for such a long time. Just have a message and then we can open the floor for all the questions.
Yes. So this is pretty much relevant to what I wanted to share about today. Okay, where science meets serenity is what I have chosen to talk about today. So, in 2 minutes, let me explain that to you. Okay. What does the word science actually mean? Okay. Science is derived from the Latin word called scientia. Ignore me if the language is wrong, but the term is scientia, which means knowledge, knowing about something. All right. And how does that work? Okay. I gave you an understanding of what the term science means. Okay. And then let's come to how does that work in our real life? Okay. An example from medical sciences, let me take. Okay. When we eat food, okay, it breaks down into glucose. Okay. And the thing that actually energizes our body are going to be like glucose and salts. Okay. And once we observe this, okay, when I'm in a situation where my digestive system is not going to cooperate, I have an option to directly energize myself by letting that fluid inside my veins. I get energy without even eating. This is where science is put into action. Okay. When I see there some substances are capable of what is it? Burning. Okay. Out of nowhere, there is a little liquid on the floor, and unexpectedly, it got lit. Okay, let's say because it's because of the sunlight getting intense, or let's say unknowingly I sparked a match and let on it, and it burns. Okay, I observe this, and then I see, okay, this liquid is capable of burning. Where can I use it? I'll find something that's called an engine that will consume this liquid, and this heat will help me to move to where the places I want to go. Okay. So this, let's call this mechanical science. Okay. No matter what sciences you have in this world, they all start from one point called observation. Okay. If you hadn't observed that the food you eat gets into your bloodstream as salts and glucose, if you hadn't observed this particular, liquid or gas is capable of catching fire, you would never be able to put it to use. Okay. There is this beautiful statement which I recently came across. All the creations and inventions that are ever going to happen, all of them are here right now. Just like you said, until Newton discovered gravity, it doesn't mean everybody was floating on the earth, right? We all were stuck to earth. So everything we are going to establish or manifest or invent, or everything we have always invented, have always been there. But it takes an observer to find out how it works. Okay. Reminds me of this line. To the person who observes, the entire universe surrenders. Okay. The universe reveals its secrets to the one who observes. Okay. We can put it into use in various aspects of your life. For example, I have come across to a new place. Okay. And there you must have already understood I'm a dog lover. I'm an animal lover basically. So there was this particular dog which was like 1.5 or 2 times my size. Okay. And there was a caretaker who was showing us the place. And that guy, the dog, he when I went and approached him, he was wagging his tail and he's coming towards me. Okay. And that was the moment when the caretaker said, I've never seen this guy be friendly with anybody but still proceed with caution. He bites. Okay. I am somebody who grew up, or I've spent enough time with dogs. Okay. And I observe what dogs do. No, whether they are in a position to befriend or whether they are in a position to defend themselves. Me being in a position to observe what they are looking for or what they want, I was able to, like, I didn't even know that guy was, what to say, ferocious. Okay. We already became friends before even knowing that guy was ferocious. And I was like, really, cutie, are you the ferocious one? I don't think so. So the same thing, the entire universe surrenders itself to the one who observes. Okay, this is the recent most real-time example I can think of, and that is the core essence of meditation. irrespective of what you're going to observe. Breath is one of the best forms, one of the best forms. That's not one of the best forms. Breath is the best form which you can use to sharpen your observation. But you can practice mindfulness in a lot of other ways. And the more you practice mindfulness and the more you become one with yourself, the more you get to observe. Then I got this question. Okay, now I have better observation. What the hell do I observe? There is a lot of distractions. Okay, I see a fly going here, I see a light blinking there, I see a dog barking there. Like, what am I supposed to observe? Like, there is so much distractions on this world. The observation should be towards yourself. Okay. The dog barking makes me feel something. The light flickering makes me feel something. The fly moving around here makes me feel something. You don't have to observe the external stuff. You have to observe yourself, your internal stuff, which is why breath is the most beautiful element which we can use to sharpen our observation. Okay. To become more observant. And seriously, once you are somebody that observes, miracles are going to come through you.
Okay. So physically, I think it's not possible, that I can pluck my neck out of my body and turn my head around and observe myself. That is why we have breath, and then we close our eyes so that we can go internally.
There is a lot of difference between seeing and observing. Okay, the way the urge for you to pluck your face and look at yourself is because you're talking about looking at yourself. You don't have to look at yourself to observe yourself. Look, seeing is just one of the senses. Okay, and there is a lot of, even though you can't pluck your face out and look at yourself, there are a lot of other things on your body which you can see. And fortunately, the ancestors have given us mirrors, so don't try to pluck your face. That's not required. Okay, so and vision is just one form of observation, and that's a really beautiful form. But when you want to observe yourself, vision is not going to help you because, as you said, vision is something we always use to observe the external surroundings. But when you want to observe your internal things, you need to relax yourself and calm your senses down, and that's when you start observing yourself.
Yeah, and that also explains the reason why today in your guided meditation and the picture displayed, it was very clear that you're supposed to close your eyes and observe your natural breath so that you're observing and it is not noticing or forcing yourself to focus. So I just wanted to highlight that point to all the audience listening to us so that they understand the difference of why we have to close our eyes and sit in a very relaxed position and observe, focus, and it has to be your breath and not any external objects, just what you are. So your words were beyond beautiful, Yeshwant. I was expecting you to go for a very long time. I was like, okay, let me listen to my friend talk after a very long time today. But it's time for me to take the back seat so that the audience can come forward and bombard you with their love and questions. So anyone with any kind of questions, please come forward. The stage is all yours.
I think we have one person already. Since the topics of self and mindfulness have been mentioned, give a profound definition and connection between the two, and mention about the important aspects that we need to focus in life to develop mindfulness that helps to connect with self. Okay, so I'm going to use help of something called efficiency to explain this. Okay, so let's take a simple example. There are two vehicles, okay, and I pour 1 liter of gas in one vehicle. I pour 1 liter of gas in both the vehicles, okay. And if one vehicle gives me, like for example, it can take me up to 10 miles, and the other vehicle can take me up to 20, 30, 40 miles. The efficiency of the vehicle B is more, a lot more, okay. So here, the importance of mindfulness is when your life gives us a lot of experiences to learn from. Okay. And when we are open to learn from it, when we are being mindful to learn from it, the level of efficiency at which we operate in, okay, is like exponentially high, literally. Okay, so the requirement of mindfulness, why do I need this? Okay, I get it, the efficiency is high, but why do I need this efficiency in the first place? You know, the way life works is it tries to teach us something, and if we are not in a position to understand what it is trying to teach, it keeps on giving us the same thing over and over and over. Okay, so it is your simple choice on trying to learn what is like trying to teach you in the first attempt, or you want to go through the same pain over and over again to learn one simple lesson. This is the place where I would say mindfulness becomes hectic, like really important, because like I'm taking so much pain, and like in spite of trying to understand where this pain is coming from or what this pain is trying to teach me, I'm not paying any focus to it at all, and I'm just being with my own self, like in my own world. The purpose of why the pain is with you is not complete. The pain has to come away and then has to come back to you in a different form. So, in short, if you are not being mindful, if the efficiency in which you are going to operate is low, you're going to go through a lot of pain for sure, undoubtedly. Okay, and the relation between mindfulness and meditation is just the relationship between having a good physique and a workout. Okay, mindfulness is what to say? Is it called the adjective? I don't know. Mindfulness is the quality, and meditation is the process. With meditation, we get to mindfulness, and with mindfulness, we learn a lot of things in our life, and that for sure is going to save you a lot of pain. I think I added a little justice to that question. Thanks for asking this question, Bindusri.
You did 100% justice over there.
Okay. Any other questions, friends? Like okay, we have Prithviraj here. Whenever I observe breath, I feel it as if I'm putting more effort rather than observing passively. Is it okay? Okay, so let me to answer it in a sentence. Let me say it is not required. Okay, we need not say it is not okay. I'm not gonna say it is abnormal, but your sense of observation will be more when you let the breath go on by itself rather than when you try to it becomes quite easy for me to observe, right? Look, the reason why I'm doing meditation is to sharpen my observation, to become a better observer. Okay, so you, if it is happening subconsciously, it's fine, but try not to consciously regulate your breath. It's not required. You just have to observe your breath. That's it. Thank you for asking that, Prithviraj.
In case if anyone has any other questions, guys, please feel free to raise your hands and then you can unmute yourself and talk.
In the meanwhile, I'm actually surprised you're done with your list of questions. I was expecting something little more.
I do have tons of questions, but we'll come
We
back
are
to
being
it.
humble and let the audience have some time, is it?
Yeah.
How? A little deeper. See, initially, again, going back to Prithviraj's question about more effort rather than observing passively. Okay, like initially we might find it hard because breath has always been something which we always, what to say, have always been with. There was not a single moment where we were not without our breath, which makes it a challenging thing to observe, at the same time, which makes it the best thing for you the best tool for you to use to be mindful. Okay. So when we are starting to meditate, let's say, like for example, today we meditated for 30 minutes. Okay. The place from which your question is coming from is you're trying to, like be more efficient in meditation. If I'm meditating for 30 minutes, I need to have at least 20 to 25 minutes of complete observation of breath. No, meditation is not something we do. This particular terms were given by where somebody we actually has been a beautiful observer. Okay, let me say that again. Like meditation is not something we do, it is something that happens. Okay. The only effort you need to take is, be regular. I Out of everybody, I know the real importance of why meditation is required regularly. Okay. The only place where you need to take effort is be regular, spend time with yourself. Okay. I said you right. Meditation is, in other terms, spending time, becoming one with yourself. Okay. So try not to. Beautiful. You sit for a whole 3 hours. That's interesting. And in this 3 hours, what if I'm gonna say, if you spent 3 full minutes, okay, 180 seconds, where you were with your breath, your purpose is achieved. We find it hard to believe, right? Like I'm in 180 minutes, I'm taking only 3 minutes, and you're saying my purpose is achieved. Of course it is. It is not something that's going to be an overnight process, and it definitely should not be something which happens by force. Okay, it has to come out on its own. Okay, in other terms, let me tell you, the thoughts which come to us when we are in our meditative state, when we are trying to meditate, is nothing but the thoughts which we have always put in our minds. Okay, if I may give the example, the mind is a bin where we all the time put the thoughts for, where, like, for example, I'm on a Zoom session right now. I'm on a session with you all right now. I'm getting a call, and I'll be like, okay, I'll answer this call later because I'm on something more important. So the same way, we keep on accumulating the things which we want to look at later inside your mind. And once you silence the surroundings around you, that things start coming out one by one by one by one. Okay. And we feel this is disturbing my meditation. Why are these thoughts even coming to me? So the real change in perspective is needed where we feel this is coming to you. Okay, let me just say the thoughts from the bin are going out, and that's why you're getting it. Okay. So feel free and feel happy because you're losing a lot of thoughts. And as I said, keeping consistency as the main factor, keeping the regularity as the main factor. If you start with 3 hours of complete oneness with meditation and you gained only 3 minutes of, thoughtlessness, if this continues, you will see a huge difference. Okay, it doesn't happen overnight, and let me say it, it's not even going to be stable. Okay, like, let me say, I in your position, I'm going to say in 3 hours I'm able to do 2.5 hours of thoughtlessness. Okay, and some 30 minutes thought comes today. Okay, this is my state today. Okay, something big happens to me tomorrow, and I'll be like, I'm not even able to focus even for 2.5 minutes. Okay, I should not even see the 2.5 hours as bigger efficiency, and I should not see the 2.5 minutes as something small. The only process that is happening here is you trying to teach your mind to that you don't have to think about anything right now. That's all you need to do. You don't have to force yourself to say no, you should not think. No, that's not at all what meditation is supposed to be. Meditation is just something that happens on its own. So once all your thoughts are gone, you always will find a stable mind. Like, just like a pool of water, right? If some disturbance happens, there will be a ripple effect throughout. And if you again keep on trying, why is this not settling? I'll put one more rock. I'll put one more rock. I want this to settle right now. I'll take a stick and poke it. The more efforts you take, the more agitated you become. That's as simple as that. You just have to give it some time. You just have to spend some time with yourself and watch yourself on how beautifully it settles. Just be patient and consistent. That's it.
No, sir. Very nice to see you, sir. Very nice to see you guiding us and you being a very young person, very happy to see you.
Thank you so much. I'm
And
really happy.
this platform looks to be. Uh, please, sir. Please go ahead, sir. You were telling me something.
Yeah, I'm really happy that you are taking the effort to interact with all of us. That makes me really happy.
Really, sir, I felt very happy because the youngsters are guiding a sort of people like us. So very nice to see youngsters coming for meditation and guiding, and this is a wonderful platform, in fact, to be with. And I just had one question because see the whenever I observe breath, I feel I am putting more effort in it. See, nobody tells, say they all say that observe the breath, but how to see it, where to see it, and how to passively observe it. See, that is what most of us don't know. See, we know that by practice it may come, but initially, if they say how to observe the breath, but that itself is a big challenge for most of the meditators.
True.
So I just wanted to know from you. So how to observe it, and see, can you give me a tip on that? Because we'll be sitting and we'll be putting effort most of the time instead of passively observing it. And most of the time we lose its presence and we go somewhere else. So I, I just want to know how to be a passive observer of breath and where to focus on as a meditator. So that's my question, and it's haunting from many years.
Okay.
So can you throw me a light on that?
Definitely, definitely. Let me share you what I have learned. Okay. Before I tell you tips on how to observe breath, let me just tell this to you. It is completely, absolutely normal for you to lose hold on breath. Okay. When you are sitting in meditation, sometimes we are able to focus and sometimes we are not. Okay. And we should see both the moments as equal, both are equally efficient. This being said, okay, now let me answer your question on how to make it easier. Okay.
Hmm.
In my initial days, there used to be a master who said like, if you want to observe the breath, okay, you can feel it. You have your hands right here, okay, and if you are in a place where there is not much of airflow, you can feel it in your hands. There are a lot of beautiful other ways which we can use to observe our breath. We have skin in our nasal openings, okay, and every time we inhale and every time we exhale, the skin feels it. Okay, we have facial hair. You have facial hair. I have facial
Yes.
hair. And every time I inhale and every time I exhale, breath has a beautiful way of interacting with the facial hair. Okay, we all have our tummy which expands when we inhale and contracts when we exhale. Okay, these tips are for what to say, hand holding steps for you till you reach the state where you need no more hand holding. And again, I'm stressing on the point in the we use the subtlest form, breath, energy, as the point of focus, because when we are supposed to focus, we need breath. But after a point, breath becomes so short to such an extent it is not even there.
Hmm.
Okay. At that time, if you, it is normal for us to think, okay, I'm not able to observe breath. It is completely normal for us to think. But the nature of breath, even if you take in our 8 hours of sleep, there is barely any 4 hours where we get into deep sleep, if you can agree. Okay. And during that particular period, our heart rate, which is said to be 72 as a normal human, it drops down to 30 to 40 during that particular deep sleep state, which means you're barely inhaling and exhaling. Your body is barely burning anything.
Okay.
Okay. So it is nature, it is in nature for the breath to vanish after a point of time. So that being said, please don't stress on where is my breath? Why am I not able to handle it? And that being said, you for beginner tips, you can use the senses, the other senses which you have as observation tools to be more friendly with your breath.
Hmm.
Hope I answered your question.
Okay.
And we have one other answer to you from a friend in the chat box. Pooja, if you can read it out to us.
Sure. So, Adi sir has given us answer to this. While meditating, we can put incense or pure kapoor, and that makes us absorb better without. And to avoid thoughts, sound of music aids to meditate better. So it's more like you are using music sense of smell to track your observation to your breath. So because we all believe that thought we cannot stop
I
flow
guess
of a
you are
river,
breaking
we
apart a
can
bit,
only
Pooja.
observe. Okay, network issues.
Yeah, better now.
Okay. So using sense of smell or music along with meditation really helps you to have like not exactly a trigger, but something in the of your head which is gonna pinpoint that you have been carried away by your thoughts and you need to come back to your breath. The way we all see thoughts is basically like thoughts are like a river. You can never stop a river, tell a river, how dare you are flowing, stop. No, you cannot do that. All you can do is sit at the river bank and observe it. That's the whole magic of the game.
No, mere sir, I see the mere observation is just a passive process, is it? See, when
It's
we observe, it is a passive process. That means we are not supposed to put any efforts on what we are doing. So in spite of that, I feel as if I'm putting little effort in recognizing the breath. So is it okay? That is why I just wanted to ask you.
it's not needed.
Okay.
Okay. And if you feel like you are consistently putting the effort, try to
Yeah.
be a little more mindful. Just say to
Uh,
yourself, okay,
okay.
I don't need to put effort. It's not at all needed. Just let
Okay.
it unroll itself. That's it.
Wonderful, sir. Very happy to see you both. I'm very happy. I'm very excited and delighted to see you both youngsters guiding the entire platform. Happy, madam. Happy to see you both. Kindly guide us. We will be connecting with you every Sunday. Kindly guide us and give us some more knowledge and information, sir. Thank you. Thank you, madam. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much
Thank
for joining
you
us
so
in the
much, sir.
first step. And
Thank you.
despite that, like we have a lot of youngsters here. You're giving us an example of like how we should feel free to happily interact and share everything. We are really happy that you took the effort to speak to us. Thank you so
Physically
much.
only you both are looking young. Physically only you look young, but you both are masters, senior masters. Wonderful. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your kind words. It's really inspiring, and because you people appreciate our work, we really find it more heartwarming to invest ourselves, our time in everything, and be more open to such kind of works. So thank you so much. So it's like we are towards the end of our first session, which is quite amazing, wonderful, and funny as well at some level. And so we just have last 1 or 2 minutes left out. So if anyone has any other questions, uh, please come forward. The stage is all yours. There's no need for you to type it in the chat. Please just unmute yourself or just raise your hand. Yes, it's the most beautiful thing. Group of random people coming together to discuss life. I'm so grateful to each and every people so present here. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining in as well. Yashwant, looks like your talks have put all of them under questions. Either they have understood completely and they're fully all happy and full jolly now, or there are so
Or
many
they
questions that
have
it all
got
went
so many
bouncer.
confusions about life and nothing ever makes sense anymore. Let's see. That's the best part about
Yeah,
trying to learn.
yeah. Nah. I bet people have understood you. I'm betting more on that side now.
I hope so. And now that we are nearing the end of the session, okay, so for the introverted people who don't want to talk, you have the chat box and you have the question and answer boxes where you can type it in. Okay, and in the meanwhile, I'm going to give you something for yourself to do it. Okay, so I've taken the time to say about how science makes us peaceful, like how science is proving that meditation makes us peaceful. There is something more which I'm going to give you, like before we meet for the next time, we can try doing this. Okay. Do you have a challenge like that for us, Pooja?
100%. You're the captain, so you can fly us wherever you want.
Okay, done. So this is about how nature is going to help us become one with ourselves. Okay. As I had already mentioned, meditation is not something we do externally, but it is a part of nature. Let's try with this experiment of how nature helps connect with ourselves more. Okay. Things I'm going to give you, like walking barefoot on a grassland, or at least not on a concrete floor. Okay, on the mother earth. Okay, trying to communicate and hug a tree. I am definitely one of the people who will be like, hug a tree, are you out of your mind? And even if I try to hug a tree, I'll be like, dude, it has so many insects, what if it bites me? I am definitely one of the people who feel this doesn't make any sense, but until I gave it a try. Make sure you don't get any insects biting you when you're trying to hug a tree, but do try to interact and communicate with the aspects of nature in this next 1 week on a daily basis. And if possible, when you're spending time in nature, try to sit in meditation at least for a few minutes and see the amount of serenity, the amount of calmness it brings to you. Ready to take this up as a challenge?
Aye, Captain.
Thanks, Renish.
Guys,
Thanks.
we need your reaction. Something in the comment box or reaction. You can unmute and talk. Wonderful. So our today's captain is going to be our teacher for tomorrow who's gonna check our homework, I guess. So yes, that's really cool to see you so excited and happy about the sessions happening with us. And we will be looking forward to connect with you all again on next Sunday at the same time with another interesting speaker and another wonderful host. We'll be waiting for you all with everything we have. Basically, open arms and open mind with all the love we have for you. So, with that, our first session ends, and it's time to wrap things so that you all can have a very wonderful weekend. And looking forward to meet you in the next session with questions and lot of curious time to be that. So, it's Pooja and all
Thank you.
right,
Thank you.
everyone. Thank you. And it's time for us to sign off. And we'll see you all on the next Sunday. Thank you again for joining in. Happy night and happy meditation.